Hello, everybody. We'll get started here in about 2 more minutes. Promptly at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday. It's been a cold day here in North Central Illinois. Hi, Jacqueline. You're so very welcome. It was really pretty. I love stuff like that. Yes. Hi, Patty. How are you this evening? Oh, my goodness. Get some stuff moved around. I'm getting my Wonder Clips put up under my throat of my sewing machine, so they're handy. Excuse me. There we go. My iron is hot. Woohoo. Hi, Cynthia. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. I love making it. Honestly, every single one you make is completely different from the previous one. And it just really, it's like putting a puzzle together, deciding where the fabrics go and all that fun stuff. Hi, SP. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Betty. Hi, Katie. Oh, San Antonio. Oh, gosh. There's San Antonio in the house. There's Livingston, Texas from the house. If you don't know where Livingston is, it is northeast of downtown Houston, kind of, sort of. Yes. Y'all are making me homesick for Texas. Oh, my gosh. Hi, Becky. Got me some good strong coffee. I just brewed a fresh pot. Rosemont, Minnesota. Woohoo! We're neighbors. Cynthia, we're practically neighbors. I'm 30 miles north of Peoria, Illinois, right up near Interstate 80. I've taught up in Minnesota a few times. Patty, West Virginia. God, West Virginia is such a beautiful state. I have literally driven on every major road in West Virginia, from Beckley all the way through beautiful Charleston and up north on 77 towards Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful scenic state. Back in the 90s, I worked in the trucking industry for a time, and I got to travel all over the United States and Canada and parts of Mexico in a semi-truck. Hi, Mia. Good evening. From beautiful, sunny, warm. It's got to be warmer there than it is here. Oh, Jackie, you're making me sick. 77 degrees. Oh, my gosh. Hi, Christina. Oh, wonderful, Cynthia. Actually, I've got to contact those folks up there in Apple Valley. They want me to come back this spring to do another palette seminar. Hi, Linda. Oh, wonderful, Linda. Yes, I will be, as far as I know right now, at Decorative Stitches in West Shelby Township, Michigan, the weekend of March the 10th. Yes. Hi, Mia. It's 84 degrees. You win, Mia. Oh, my gosh. Yes, Cynthia, I know. All we got was a lot of rain. The freezing rain was just maybe 50, 60 miles north of us. But we got a lot of wet rain out of the whole deal. Okay, everybody. It is 6:02. We're going to get started with tonight's episode. Obviously, I will not be able to piece this entire quilt top in one night. So I'm contemplating actually doing another episode tomorrow night. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. It'd be at 6 p.m. Hi, Janelle. Love Boise, Idaho. Oh my gosh. Been there and taught also. Oh, wonderful, Cynthia. I'll let you know when that date is set, for sure. Usually they have me do a one-day seminar at two of their stores, the one in Apple Valley and the one a little further up the road in De Pere. Okay, so we're going to get started. Now, before I do you recall, I think it was a week ago, Saturday night, I was showing you the one block wonder I had already started, made out of peacock panels. Well, that's what I have been doing today. I got all the blocks for that one pieced, and I didn't show how I did that one because I already had it over halfway finished when I started this series. But I'm going to show you what my design wall looks like because I am arranging my blocks around the panel. Okay, if you get motion sickness, shut your eyes. I'm gonna move my camera around. Here we go. You can see my mess. Here is where I'm at right now on this layout for this one block wonder. There's where it's at. Okay, everybody, I will put that on. I will write the next episode 4 will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But here is where I'm at with my peacock one block wonder. And once again, I bought 7. You see that panel in the center? I bought 7 of those. Okay, I layered 6 and cut them up like I did last night. And this is what I have ended up with, and these were cut with 4.5 inches. This is the 5th arrangement I've done on my design wall, and I'm pretty close to being set to where I'm going to piece it. Ooh-wee. One recommendation I do have for everybody, if at all possible, some panels come with have companion fabrics that you can purchase in addition. I think it'd be a wise idea to have a 2 or 3 yard cut of a companion fabric. Think binding, okay? Not all solid black fabric is the same. They're different shades. So I didn't buy any companion fabric for that quilt, but I'm going to show you what I have. I went in the shop here, and I did have a little bit of peacock themed fabric. Hold on here. I'm going to show you what I'm leaning towards because, and you'll see when the one I'm working on now that'll be done on camera, those hexagons will probably not fit that panel perfectly. So you may have to add a border around the panel, an inner border, or trim the edges of the hexagon blocks for it to fit. I am going to do option number 1. I'm going to add an inner border and then also use it for the binding, and that will kind of tie all the fabric together. Let me grab my fabric. I have this peacock fabric right here. So this is going to be my binding and an inner border for what I just showed you on my wall. The blue it'll match, but it's not a perfect match color tone wise to that, but I think it will blend really nice. But this is what I'm leaning towards right now. I'm a ways off from doing this. But there's where I'm at with that. So I would recommend, if at all possible, when you buy panels, if you're going to make a panel one, to buy some companion fabric, preferably 2, if not 3 yards of it, that you can add with it. Think maybe you want to make it bigger, add a border around it, an outside border. You'll definitely need something on the inside to even out the cuts so that everything will fit perfectly together. If you don't do an inside border, one technique would be to trim the panel so that it fits, if that makes sense. Because you don't want to have to trim the hexagon blocks, because then they won't match and fill in properly. So I'm taking my time figuring this one out. I'll have a definitive answer for that next weekend. Next weekend I plan on doing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to finish this quilt top that we're going to start sewing on tonight. That is my objective anyway. Hi Vanessa. Oh, thank you everybody. I'm really pleased with it. I really like it. It's got I love black fabric with jewel tone colors, and that one certainly clicked off on all the check marks. I'll go around one more time. There's what we're talking about. That is my peacock panel on my design wall. My design wall is actually a big foam board covered with quilt batting. That is not pinned up to the board, it just sticks up there with the quilt batting. Okay. There we go. I forgot to shut the bathroom door too. Oh well, it's all good. So, we are going to start sewing together our 60-degree equilateral triangles that we cut apart last night. So I'm going to go to a different camera. Let's see here. It is this one. There we go. I have my little fabric bowl of Wonder Clips right next to me. And real quickly, I'm going to go over here to my wool mat where I'll be pressing at. Oops, wrong one. Right there. There we go. I have the first one laid out, and what this looks like, it's almost exactly the same as this one right here. Okay? As you can see, I didn't put them like that. I twisted it once so that it puts all those stripes at an angle, and that gives it movement. So that's what I'm going to do. Thank you, Miss Beth. Okay, so I'm going to sew this together first. I have my sewing machine over here set up for a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm using a 1/4 inch foot with a metal edge guide. And I have a technique here's how I do this. So I'm going to sew two sets of these together, okay? I'll have 2 pieces that are not sewn together, and then I'll clip them together and move on down through the stack. Then I will press what I've got pieced, and then I'll add these 2 pieces here to these 2 units. You'll see. I'm just going to get started. It'll just make more sense if you see it done. Hi, Stephanie. Okay, so here we go. Let's get to this other camera. And I'm just going to pick them up. Right there like that. This is my center right up here. I'm just going to line it up. I have my stitch length set at 2 millimeters. I have my stitch length set at 2 millimeters. Now here's the thing, everybody. When you're putting these little sharp points up under here for it to start, it's real easy for it to go down into the plate of your machine. So the way to avoid that is to have a starting cloth. And this is just a little scrap square of fabric. I'm just going to fold it in half and run it through the machine. I'm not going to trim it, and then I'm just going to add my piecing unit actually to it. And I think I just messed up already. Hold on. No, I didn't. Sure I did this right. I did. Okay, and now I'm going to pick up the next unit like this. This is for one block now. I'm doing it one block at a time. Fold it over and sew those two together. Now I'm going to cut them. Get my little scissors here. Where you at, little scissors? I just saw you. Where'd I put you? Hold on. Oh, they're right up here. There we go. And I'm just going to snip all this apart. Now there's my center right up there. Notice my seam, and it's easy to tell, my seam is to the right. Over here by my right hand, there's my seam. Let's go ahead and get that another start for my next unit. Now, this one I'm going to go ahead and press, but once I get started actually doing a lot of them, I'm going to use some chain piecing. So what I'm going to do here, make sure my iron's hot. I'm going to swap my camera back over. There we go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to press the seam open. Okay. I'm going to hold it open with get it started with your fingers. That way you don't burn yourself. I'm just going to take my iron. I'm not pressing down. I'm just going to let it set on top of it for a moment while I prep the next one. And yes, I do have my steam turned on. As long as I'm not moving that iron on top of the fabric while it's steaming, it will not distort anything, but it really makes that seam stay open nice and flat. Check this out. I'm going to bring this one up closer. Look how nice and flat that seam is. Okay, this is what you want. Okay. Then we would sew these two back on, these other two pieces. And what I do though, you'll see when I start after this one, I will if I did each one like this, it would take twice as long to do this piecing. But what we're going to do, here's my center right here. Okay, and I'm going to add the next one to it right here. It lines up with the previous point. You're going to line that point there, line those 2 points up, and they should match right down there, and do another 1/4 inch seam. Let's swap our camera. Here we go. Now, right where these two fabrics intersect, right here, a minute here, right there, that little intersection, that little valley, that's where should be your needle entry point. Just gonna make sure it's all lined up nice and neat. I'm going to do the same with this other one. There's my center. This is my center here, and I'm going to line them up. If you're too nervous to chain piece, it's okay. Just do them one at a time, and you'll be fine. The big thing is, when you chain piece, you can't let stuff get out of order, or you'll be sewing the wrong pieces together. So now, check it out. When I open that up, there's half of my hexie, but I still have to press this other seam open, and that's what we're going to do next. Here we go. So I'm just going to open that up. There's my seam. I'm going to get it started with my fingers. I'm just going to let that sit down on top of it for 10-20 seconds, as long as it takes me to get this other piece set up down here. Now when I'm moving that iron, I am not pressing down on it. I'm just gliding it across the top. And as it finishes that steaming process, my seams will lay nice and flat, super flat. Okay. And there you have it. Okay, check those out. This is what we're after, super nice flat seams. Every bit of piecing we do, we have to press the seams open and make sure they're laying nice and flat. So as you can see, there's what the finished block would look like. But we're not going to sew it together, because what you saw on my design wall, by keeping them in half hexies, once we get them laid out, we'll just sew long strips together, and then we don't have no Y seams. This is a Y seam right here. We don't want to have to set a piece into that, because that's a pain. By making long strips out of half hexies, all we have are long straight seams to sew together. Okay, so here is where I'll take this and that. I'm going to put a wonder clip right there to hold it, keep those two halves together. I'm going to set them over here in another one of my fabric bowls. And that one is complete. Woohoo! Okay. I love half hexies, Stephanie. Oh my goodness. I love hexagons, period. But boy howdy, if you can do it with half hexies, it makes life a whole lot easier. Okay. Had a drink of my soda pop that time. And we're going to get started. We're going to do some more. I'm going to lay out a few this time. I'm going to lay out more than one. You can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to start strip. I'm not going to work it one block at a time. So we're going to do this. I'm just going to follow that around. I'm putting the widest corner to the center this time. And you know, with these stripes, I have found if you do it this way, it looks cool too, but I'll audition this one, but I won't do that for the rest of these stripes. I don't feel it's necessary to audition them too much if you know what you're after. So there's one. Now I'll just take another one of these stripes. There's more of this yellow here. Let's do this one next. If I keep the lines going straight into the center, try to get some more room here. Like, for instance, that way. There we go. You can see the difference. While this looks good too, I like it thrown off at an angle just a little bit better. That's just my personal preference. You can do them any way you like, but they both look pretty awesome. I just like this layout a little bit better. So I'm going to flip this one. This time I'll put the darker part to the center though. That'll give it a completely different look. It kind of makes a pinwheel star in the center with these stripes, which I really like the look of that. Check that out. Pretty cool. So much fun. Let's lay out another one. And let's see, we're gonna do this corner here because I'm gonna keep them all going towards these little pinwheel angles. That's what I'm personally gonna do with mine. Let's see, right there. Right there. And there. I'm going to lay out a few of these because I'm going to chain piece, and you'll see how it just seems to me it goes a whole lot faster. It helps speed it up a lot. And one thing you notice I'm kind of picking out all the yellow ones. The reason why, when you go to lay them out on your wall, I always sort them into color groups or blocks that are kind of close to the same color, the same pattern, because it just makes it easier, in my opinion, to just mix them all up and make them work out. So I'm going to do this one to the center next. That'll be interesting with that green stripe in it. Let's see, right there. And right there. This is 4. Right there. And you know, if you've never done it before, do it one block at a time to start with, and then ease into doing the chain piecing method. There we go. There's 4 really cool ones. Notice how each one is just a little bit different though. See if I have any more that are predominantly yellow. Here's one that's got some, here's 2 more. Okay. I'm going to set these 2 up yet. Okay. That'll be 6 total that I'm going to chain piece. So here's one here. Now, since this has color all the way at the bottom, I'm probably going to put these. Well, no, I'm not, because this will be totally cool. Check it out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this green tip towards the center. Gives it a nice little effect right there. Oops, right there. Right there. Isn't that cool? It is so much fun to do, everybody. Literally, this, in my humble opinion, this is a very artistic way to create, because you control which one of these 3 corners is going to the center, which is what creates the design for that block. And then you have complete control as how they're going to be placed on your design wall or your table or your floor or your bed or whatever to make that pattern. I'm going to put this one with the lighter point. 2 darker points, the lighter point, that one's going to go in the center on this. But I'm going to wait until I get that deck cleared off, because it's starting to look a whole lot. Anyway, there's 5. I'm going to sew these 5 together, and I'm going to chain piece. Okay, so let me go back to my sewing machine, and I'm going to take my time so I don't get stuff mixed up. I'm going to take them one layer off at a time. Okay. There. Remember, I'll have 2 triangles for each block left over. Right there. So you want to make 2 units and then hold on to the 2 units. Then I'm going to get the 2 units I'm not going to sew and lay those right there. Okay. So I'm going to move on to my next block now. I'm going to sew 2 and hold on to 2. This is just how I do it. You can piece it any method that you want. This is what works for me. Just taking my time, lining it up really carefully. And then I have my 2 that I don't sew right here. Just going to line those up and place them right there. Okay, next, it's going to go right there like that. And this one. And my 2 leftover ones. There's the center. When I lay these on my bed, keeping them organized, the point for the center is I'm putting away from me. That way I know exactly where they are. Hi, Beverly. Okay, let's do the next one. There, like so. And the second unit, right there. And my 2 leftover pieces right here. I have 1 more laid out. Excuse me. Hey, and if you make a boo-boo and you have to rip, it's okay. I usually have to rip out 1 or 2 pieces every day that I'm working on one of these. It happens. It's all good. Okay. Now I have my 2 leftover pieces from that one. And now I'm going to organize these all together because I'm not going to press until I get a large stack of them done to this stage. It'll just make it go quicker. So I'm going to cut. And now the first ones that come to me right here is what's on the very top of my stack here. So if I had a stack really deep, I still would be able to keep everything in order. So check it out. 1 and 2. And we'll stop. I'm going to stack them so the centers are right up here. And then these two go with these. And then I'm going to put a wonder clip where the center of the block is. Then I know. Okay. Then, oops, I will take one of my fabric bowls and I'm just going to put this stack right in my fabric bowl. Okay. And I'm going to keep working off of this stack that I've got where I did my chain piecing. There and there. So really and truly for the first day when you're piecing, you don't really have to do any ironing until you get everything done to this step, unless you just want to. And if you do, that's okay. If you need a break from doing this, then go and do some ironing and getting it set up for the second step. But I am going tonight, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get as much of this step done that I can get done. Okay. 1 and 2. That one will go there. Wonder clip at the center point. And there we go. I'm going to snip those two apart. Come here, you. Let me trim off my little starter cloth. As soon as I trim that off, because I know I'll need it, I'm just going to go ahead and get it started. There we go. Woohoo. So the one I have up on the wall, that came out to approximately 8 hexes wide and 8 hexes long. Let's see here. Oh, Londa, absolutely. And that's why I love this technique, because each one you do is truly, it is a work of art. If you can do one of these, you are technically an art quilter, because regardless of what fabric or panel you might use, every single one comes out differently. Even if the same people use the same panel or the same fabric, just in the size you cut the triangles and all of that will actually make them have a different look and feel to it. Let's go back over here to our other camera now. Let's see here, right here. There we go. And I'm going to preemptively lay out some more. Let's see. Just like before, I'm going to put out quite a few. And I find if you kind of break it down into different stages, it just seems like maybe it goes a little bit quicker. Maybe that's just an illusion. But for me, it did seem like it make the whole process go a little bit faster. There we go. There's one. Love that one. Woohoo. That definitely has that ombre effect going on, doesn't it? And let's see here. I think I'm going to put the darkest tip to the center on this one. Stripes do make an interesting one because you get all these secondary. Isn't that pretty? Just love that. Okay, let's get some more. But by breaking it down to small, manageable steps, it just seems to me like it really does make it a little bit easier to do and faster. Now, if this wasn't striped, I might have it would take me a little more time to decide how I was going to do it. But once you know what to look for on those 3 possible corner points to put to the center, you start to get a feel for what stuff will look like. And there we go. Look at that. 3 different blocks. These were all cut side by side out of that fabric, everybody. Okay. Let's do this one now. Let's see here. I'm going to do that darkest stripe there to the center, I think, on this one. That might change after I get it laid out. We'll see. I don't think I will. Actually, I'm gonna do this other corner. I can already tell, because a lot of that black will get eaten up in the seam line, and this other point I think will make a better little star in the center than that dark. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Here we go. Now, I did not use on that one, the peacock one on the wall. I had 6 blocks left over, everybody. So you don't have to use every single block that you create out of the panel. You will inadvertently end up with a few orphan blocks, and it's okay if that happens. Okay. So this one, I'll do the green one in the center. But I will say this, after cutting the peacock one out at this size and this one out at this size, the next one I cut, I'm going to make them just a little bit smaller. Simply because you'll end up with more blocks and you'll get a little bit more of the possibility of creating some different looks. Whereas I just think it would probably end up being really cool if one could do that, simply because I would like to have a few more blocks of some of the ones that I made. And you'll see, once you make one of these and you start laying them out to sew them together, you'll see what I mean. But totally, the 4.5 inches I used on these will make that quilt on the wall that I showed you. That's a cool one there. I know they're starting to blend together. I'll use a little slightly different color on this one. But I'm going to get all this striped fabric and these two this gradient here laid out before I go any further. And I'm going to chain piece all of this. Blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada, yada. I started watching, I have all of the Friends episodes to watch on our NAS. And when we buy Blu-ray collections, we then actually just copy them onto our NAS so that we can watch them on any one of our smart TVs that's in our network here at the house. And that's what I've been watching. I've been watching starting with episode 1, season 1 of Friends, and I've been watching that. That's the new thing that I'm power watching. Okay. This one. So one tip that has a little bit of lightness to it, and I'm going to use that because it'll be easy for me to remember what goes to the center. Here we go. Let's see here. How many more do I have? That one. That one. Well, I think that'll be all of them for that colorway right there. Yay. Okay. Got 3 more to lay out. Then I'm going to chain piece them and get them all up ready for the next step. Okay. Now, when I first started doing these, I made one block at a time. And let me tell you, especially if you use a smaller size triangle, it seems like it takes a very long time to get one of these pieced, especially with all the pressing. So this is what I discovered through trial and error. It just makes the whole process go a lot faster for me personally. Okay. And let's see here. I'm going to put that little blue tip to the center. Hardly none of that will show with seam allowances involved, but that's okay. It makes it easy for me to see where to put it at. There we go. Now I'm pretty happy with the peacock on the wall. I will piece it together like I have that one laid out. That is my current plan for that one. Oop, I'm missing one. I didn't get to. You'll find that these layers can really stick together really easily because there will be 6 layers, everyone. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all there. I just don't have them laid out properly. Here we go. Let's get them laid out. Here we go. In there. And there I have them overlapped. Here we go. Okay. One more. And one. Come on, you. Yeah, and when you're at this stage of it, forget what the panel originally looked like. And as you're laying these out, just focus for the one stack you have in your hand. That's how to manage that. Forget everything else and just focus on the actual stack of triangles that are in your hand. And the way I do it, once I lay them out and I'm happy with it, they're done. I will not come back as I'm peeling these off and do any more rearranging. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the machine and put all of these together. I actually, Christina, that's why I always buy 7 panels. That way I have one of the originals, and here's what this fabric looked like originally before it was cut up, right here. Down here is the area that I'm currently sewing together, but there is the panel itself. So I stacked 6 of these on top and cut all my triangles. This one will either go in the center of the quilt or the back of the quilt. Don't know which one yet. We'll see. Okay. Let's move our camera, go to our other camera, and we're going to chain piece these, start chain piecing these units again. I'm going to set this out of my way because I have a few more stage than what I did last time. Roll up my sleeves. And here we go. And one other thing I want to mention. When you're cutting this out, actually you don't want to try, oh, I'm going to cut this stack of triangles exactly from this one spot. I just go from one edge to the edge, and how it ends up is how it ends up, because that keeps that organic nature of what these type of quilts are designed for. You can, in other words, don't over plan where you're going to make your cuts when you're cutting out the triangles. Is what I'm trying to say, I guess. And I know I stopped chain piecing. I'll just go ahead and just pin that one together. But yes, don't overthink it, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because it will come out beautiful. It will just come out beautifully done. Get my starter cloth under there. So what can happen when you're sticking those little points of fabric up under your feed dog? Two things will possibly happen. One is your needle will come unthreaded, or B, and more often the case, it will not feed through properly and push the tip of that fabric sandwich down into the needle plate of the machine and make a mess. If you will use a starter cloth like I did here, that will never happen. I was taught that when I worked at the sewing factories back in the 1980s. Those big industrial machines. There we go. And my 2 leftovers. We go right there. Next to these 2. two leftover ones right there. Okay. I really like this one here. That'll really be an attractive block. And I can use these are really where a lot of them kind of look alike. Color tone wise, I use those to fill in different areas with. And also, you know, one of the fun parts is laying all the blocks out once you get them pieced to that level. But it does no good to jump the boat and start laying them out when you don't have them all pieced, because it's going to change. So you don't worry about doing that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. My two leftovers, they go right there. And then we'll go to the next one. In other words, don't rush the process. Enjoy the steps. That's why we do this. It's supposed to bring us enjoyment. If it's not enjoyable to do, then why would we do it? You know what I'm saying? Yes, this panel is actually a very abstract panel for sure. Very artsy. And this one is next, right here. Let me adjust another light. Hold on. Here. Let me try flicking another light on and see if that will add a little more light to the subject. I turned it off earlier because it was creating a lot of glare. We'll see. Okay. Nope, that definitely was what it needed. Okay. So, where are we at here? Here on this one. Okay. Then I still have the two laying over there. Add to this stack. There we go. Had to take my shoes off. It's hard for me to sew with the foot control on the machine with my shoes on. I can't feel anything. My feet stay numb, so yeah, that's... Believe it or not, that's not from my diabetes. That is actually from a semi-truck wreck 20 years ago. My feet have had numbness to them for 20 years. Nerve damage from a semi-truck decided to rear-end me outside of Boston many moons ago. Oh, come on, you. There we go. And those two. Two leftovers. Oops. Didn't want to pull you up yet. There we go. Right there. Don't want that. There we go. I want to be able to see what color it is. There we go. Okay. That was correct, yes. Just making sure. Yep. Okay. This one's next. this group. Oh, it's okay, Jacqueline. As just like with everything I do, this is being recorded so it can be rewatched in the future as well. It's all good. What part of Kentucky, Jacqueline? Oh, it's okay, Belinda. Everything is being recorded so you can rewatch it in the future. And my 2 leftovers for that block. Got 3 more to go, and we'll have that group, that step done for that group. Okay. And my 2 leftovers. Here we go, 2 more to go. Right there. Leftovers. And 1 more over here. My 2 leftovers. Right there. Right there. Is that right? Let me look and see. Yes, that is correct. That's what I thought. Right there. Okay. Now I'm going to organize those all together. Okay. So every 2 I take off of here goes with the stack that's on top. And what I do is, to stay organized, I put my clip in where the center, the point that will be the center of the block. Every time, then there's no surprises. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to wonder or anything like that. For those of you that are just tuning in, episode 4 will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. My goal tonight is to get this step done for all of my blocks. That is my goal. We'll see if that happens or not. If not, it's okay. And after making a few of these, this is what I discovered worked really well for me. What I'm doing right now to keep everything organized and just to streamline the process, and it just makes, for me, it just makes it go faster. Oh, Somerset. Awesome, Jacqueline. I have family in the Paducah area. That's why I asked. And actually, my father's family is from a little town. Well, the farm was just outside a very small town in western Kentucky called Lola, Kentucky. Population 80. Farming community. That's where my Meemaw was from. And my 9 aunts who taught my Meemaw and my 9 aunts who taught me the love of sewing and quilting. All right. There's that step. And next weekend, I will be doing a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday episode again on this. And I'm hoping that I should be close to having this completed by then. Okay, so there are all of those. Let me get my starter cloth started. There we go. And now I'm going to lay out a few more. First I'm going to drink me some of my coffee before it gets cold. Let's see here. Let me swap that camera out and we'll audition some more blocks. There we go. Okay. So let's see here. I'm going to put the white, this lighter color to the center on this one. But just so everybody understands this, there's 3 possible outcomes for each stack of triangles. And we will look at that with this block. So here is possibility number 1. Right there. Possibility, that's really pretty. Possibility number 1. Then I'm going to put the blue to the center. And that'll be possibility number 2. I can tell you I'm not a fan of this one. It's not bad, but I still like number 1 better. So there's number 2. Now let's put the red tips to the center. Let's see what those look like. There we go. There's number 3. That looks really nice too. But boy, howdy, I think I like number 1 the best. It's kind of this, I'm trying to make these kind of look like pinwheels in the center of these, so there's some continuity to it. Let's see. It's either 1 or 3. Excuse me. Look at that one again. I just like that one. I'm going to do this one that way. So there's 1. Let's pick this one here up. That's some interesting stuff. Let's see here. This lighter shade of blue right here, and that little tip, that's what I'm going to put in the center of this. Let's see. At least I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I'm liking that one already. Little white parts in the center, those will all be ate up in the seam allowance. Just so you know. Well, that makes some interesting pattern. Love this one. I'm not even going to look further than that. Love that. Okay, let's do a different one. And I'm going to do this over here. Move that out of the way. Try this one like that first. I'm digging that because that'll really make it add some movement to that block. Look at that. There we go. Oh, that's cool. Interesting. Let's just gonna have to play devil's advocate on this one. We'll see what that looks like. Most of that would actually get ate up in the seam allowance, which is why I didn't put it down like that first. I like that one too. I like number 1 the best. Let's just do one more. I normally don't like to do it like this, but this one might be good to do. Oh yeah, here we go, everybody. Those look like petals. Check it out. This is the winner right here. So you never know. 1, 2, 3. I didn't think I'd like this. I didn't like number 2 at all. I really like number 1, but look at that one. Isn't that yummy? Love that. Let's do another one. And let's see. I think this is going to go kind of like that one there did. Here we go. Put the white to the center. A little bit of that would show up to make for an interesting center. Come here, you. Let go. Okay. That's pretty cool. And I can tell you, Cynthia, most fabrics you'll get a really big variety as well. That peacock panel, you may not have thought it, but it made a bunch of variety of blocks as well in that one. Let's do this one next. Pretty sure this is one I had already auditioned on camera last night. Yes, I did. Ooh, I love this. This is yummy. That one. Yum, yum. Yes, when I saw this particular panel at the fabric store, I immediately bought 7 panels because I knew, I could just tell by looking, this would be an interesting one for sure. Okay. I'm going to put the dark to the center on this one, the dark tip right there. Come on, you. Let go. And another reason I'm not ironing as I'm going on this, I'd already said it just makes it go by quicker if you do it in steps. But this is what I think is what most of you would rather see, is this part of the process. Simple. You don't want to watch me iron. I will do that off camera. I will do another complete block though tonight here when I start sewing these together, so you can see that process again. But you don't need to watch me iron every single scene on camera for this project. And this is an easy, the blue or the red? Blue or red? I'm going to do it this one here. It's got a little more bit more different color values for the center. Check that out. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh. Come on. Look at that. Come on, you. Let go. Let go. There we go. Okay. And right there. Let's grab another one. I'll put the red to the center on this one. Yep. Red to the center on this one. Check that one out. That one's really nice too. Look at that. Woohoo. Excuse me. Let's grab another one. Grabby, grabby, grabby. I'm going to put the blue to the center on this one. Am I? Yes, I am. Two more. It's nice too. Let's grab another stack. This would look best, I think, in the center, right here. Oh yeah. Like I said, once you do a few of them, you can almost tell by looking at it. Almost. Very nice. I like that one too. Yes, believe it or not, this little purple tip right here, which will mostly get ate up in the seam allowance, will be quite lovely. Let's see here. There we go. Let's do one this way. Yeah, we'll see. I may have to change that. I'm probably going to flip that one more time. The bright yellow is so overpowering on this one. I like, but this needs to be more focused, I think. So I'm going to do it like this. Let's check this out. This has more of a spider webby effect. Oop. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's do this one. Put that blue tip, the light blue tip to the center on this. There we go. Nice. And let's do another one. And I'm going to put this blue to the center of this one. I'm going to do this lighter blue, I think. Oh yeah, right there, right there. Right there. It's really nice. Love that. I mean, oh my gosh, they're all so nice. This is an awesome panel. That's for sure. Well, look, I found another one of those. I'll do that one off camera. Let's see here. This will be interesting. Let's see what this does. looks okay. Let's try one more thing though, just to make sure. Wasn't crazy about that one. Let's see what this setup looks like. Oh, I already like this better. This is probably what it's going to be for this one. Oh yeah, right here. That makes a cute little center on that one. Okay. Let's make an interesting one. Let's do it this way. Since there's a lot of color just along one edge right there, we're going to put that one blue tip to the center. Okay. Oops. You stay down. Here we go. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, we'll lay out one more. Ran across another one of these, we'll just go ahead and do that one. So it doesn't feel left out from everything else. Its friends are all down there waiting on it. Come on. Come on. There we go. This one we had laid out last night as well. I made a really pretty flower medallion. Look at that. Isn't that yummy? Oh, I'll look at that when I get to it, Jackie. The green and blue, one block wrong. One block wrong. Once we get down there to it, I'll straighten that out. Thank you. Okay. So make a nice, cute one here, kind of spider webby looking layout, for lack of a better word, spider webby looking. There we go. Love it though. Nice. Do those, and do these two, then I'm going to sew them together. That too. I like them all. And you know, with your orphan blocks, what you could do are make some hot pads out of them. One of these would make a nice little trivet, so you could actually do that, make some hot pads, a lot of different things. Or if you're going to make a bunch of them, save them, and you can just make one quilt top out of all your orphan blocks, which could be pretty cool. There we go. Woohoo! Now we're going to get all these staged and sewn together like we did the last group. Okay. Have me a drink of my coffee. Oh, Christina, but it is exciting. Yeah, I love doing this. This brings out, I've done oil painting and acrylic painting and sculpting and all of that. And this really speaks to the creative, artistic side of me, as I know it will do in each one of you as well. Okay. Let's swap the camera and we're going to do our little piecing process. There we go. First, I'm just going to go ahead and put my two unsewn pieces up. I'm going to sew my two pieces. And I always put the center, what's going to be the center of my block, I always put that point in first. You could do it any way you wanted to, but I just find that if I'm consistent the way I feed the fabric and place everything, I just end up with a more consistent result. My two pieces set aside for the next step from the next block. The great thing about doing it that way, you have a visual as to what's the center. I always put the point of the triangle right up this way, away from me, and that's the center of my block for what I'm currently piecing. It just makes it easy to remember that way, everybody. Sometimes I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and so if I'm having issues where I can't sleep, or insomnia, or whatever you call it. So the more I have found, the more consistent you are. If you're going to do that, is sew at all hours, you'll find that it just makes it easier if you're sewing when you're kind of tired, that you don't make as many boo-boos. Ow. Oh, that was good. And by having these all laid up right next to the machine that's on my wool pressing mat, it's just easy to stay organized like this. It really is. So one thread I've been piecing with lately that I really like, and that is this. This is Mettler Silk Cotton Silk Finish thread. Okay, it's a 50 weight thread. I like piecing with it, and quite honestly, I'm going to start trying it out. I've seen quilts quilted with that thread, and it's a beautiful thread. Silk Finish Metler 50 weight thread. It's a good thing. Forgot to put my 2 leftover pieces up. There we go. There's what we're sewing right now. There, like that. You know, and these blocks, the panels are beautiful before you ever cut them up. But what's so exciting is to see the unique patterns and designs they make when you, after you've got it cut up and you start sewing them back together. It is exciting. Or at least I think it is anyway. I can tell you right now, this is going to be one that I will for sure hang on my wall, because this will actually be like a Picasso piece of art. When I get down to the last one on this, I'm going to go ahead and press and finish it off. Let me get all of these done that I have lined up here. Get them all chain pieced. There we go. That's what I'm doing right now, is that one. There we go. There's the blue and green one you were telling me about, Jackie. Here we go. I fixed it. You. I would not have been happy if I had I would have had to rip it out. You know how y'all know how I don't like to rip out a seam. But I would have had to have done it on that one for sure. Okay. Come on, line up you. There we go. But here's the one that I had misplaced. Right here, I had it turned like this. Had it turned in a different direction anyway, but here's the one that I just fixed. Right there. Go right there like that. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. So much fun, everybody. Oh my gosh. Love this one. This one is just vibrant. Just check that out. It's like it's got, I can actually, if you really think it looks like brush strokes on an oil painting. It's just awesome. Just awesome. Well, let me do this first. Here we go. Right there. Love that one. Puppy, what are you doing, Bobo? What you doing, puppy? Yes, you're my good boy. You're a good puppy. Daddy loves you. Who's a good dog? Puppy's a good dog. Okay, still a few more to go over here, everybody. Okay, this is a cool one too. I mean, they're all cool. There's some that, just like that last one, that'd just be yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Hold on. No, I'm going to go with my first instinct on that. I'm not going to change it up. Once I move on, that's what it's going to be. Okay. This one is next. Right there. There. Here's the next. This is a fun one too. Colors in this just kind of remind me of the colors in Superman's outfit. Here we go. Another one, those Superman colors in it. Just what strikes me, I guess. Hold on. Pulled up a few too many pieces that time. Nope. Yep. Okay. Okay. Go right there like that. Very much Superman colors in that one. Check that out. That one will go right there like that. Got about 5 more in this layout to go. Gosh, I put a set a bunch that time. Woohoo! Right there. Next, we'll do this one. But if you haven't figured it out, if I had stopped and ironed each one of these one block at a time, I would not even be close to where I'm at in the piecing process. Not even close. Didn't set out my 2 loose ones for that one right there. There we go. Got 1, 2, 3, 5 more to go in this stack. Then I'm actually going to press one and completely do it from beginning. And let's see here. This one is next. There's my 2 reserved for the next step. I'll sew 2 units together for that block. And this is the next one. And this one is the next one right here. Oops. Right there. Here's my 2 pieces I will not sew together for this step. Excuse me. And the next one is this one here. If you have any little helpers around the house or some that come over occasionally, boy howdy, they love, kids love to arrange these triangles for you. I'd highly recommend that you are there to supervise if you're going to do that, because if they all get separated, it is not easy. It is not easy to get them all put back in the proper order. This is one of my favorite ones here as well, right here. This one And when I run across when I'm actually getting them to the stage of having the half hexies done, if there's some that I really, 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 really like, what I call favorite ones, I'll put an extra wonder clip in them so I know to use those for focus blocks and build around it. Okay. Woohoo. Now, I'm going to clip this all together. And then we're going to do one block from start to finish complete. Okay, including the ironing. Okay, so cut that. Get my little wonder clips together. Okay. So I'm going to cut off the two end ones. And they will go with this one. Clip where the center is and put it in your to-do basket. I'm going to do that for each one of these. And yes, I stop. I don't cut these all apart because it's easy to get them out of the order in the way you have these stacked here. So you want to make sure these match up to what's on top of this. Otherwise, you've got a mess to contend with, to try to straighten it out, so to speak. Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do. Doot. There we go. That's all there is to it. Just don't be in a hurry. Take your time. Key to being successful in this type of quilt top is keeping yourself organized. Because if all these pieces get mixed up, it is not a fun thing. I promise you. You will be crying and in tears. Ask me how I know. One time I was making one, this was when we still had the ranch in Colorado. Had the windows open and it was quite breezy. Well, guess what happened? Yes, the wind caught my pieces just right and scattered them. It took me 3 days to get it straightened up to where I could even attempt to sew it back together. So that's why I say, be very careful. Now up there on the ranch, we did not have central air. We had what is called a swamp cooler, for lack of a better word. It looks like a big air conditioning unit on top of your house, but it actually has these big filters with running water over them. And depending on the climate, they can be very effective for cooling. They were out there for sure. But boy howdy, with the right window open, it can create quite the cross draft. Yes, out there in the high plains. In the summer, it get pretty warm. And I had misting stations set up for the alpacas and the sheep and the goats and all that. It was really fun to watch them. They loved the time. The alpacas would take turns to get into the misters when it was really hot outside. Luckily, before that time of the year came, they'd all had their wool shorn off of them, so that helped them a lot as far as that goes. I know, Bobo. I know, Bobo. I know, Punky Punks. Puppy Bubby. Who's a good doggy? Puffy's a good dog. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're my good boy. Woohoo! That was a bunch. But when I get this step done, for all my triangle stacks that I cut, I will be 1/3, at least 1/3 of the way done with piecing. Let's see if I said that right. Yeah. 1/3 of the way done with the piecing. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish what I'm doing right here, and then I'm going to piece an entire block or two and get it to the half hexy stage, and then I'm going to call it a night. And then I'll be all caught up in time for us to start for tomorrow night. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'll turn my iron back on because it is cycled off. There we go. And set those up there. Let's go to the other. Give me a drink of my coffee. Let's go to our other camera. And let's pick out a pretty one here. Let's see. They're all pretty. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Right there. I'm going to do that one and that one. Then I'll do this step on the rest of these after first thing in the morning. Then we'll be set for tomorrow night. Okay, so let's audition these. Thinking probably that in the center. Yep. Or nope. that side. No, I'm doing the blues in the center. I like that the best for that one. There we go. We're going to do this one complete with pressing and everything, like I did at the beginning of tonight. Okay. Oh, thank you, Rita. Okay, so let's do our 1/4 inch seam. We're going to do 2. And now you'll see why I didn't sew 3 together. I find it easier to do the pressing each step of the way. Especially on any block where you have points coming together in the center of the block, it's best to do it that way simply because you'll get your block to lay flatter in the center. Okay. So now I'm going to press these out, press the seams open. For this particular type of quilt, you have to press the seams open. Otherwise, you will not like the result of the center of your blocks. They will not lay flat, they will be bulky, and you'll never get stuff to match up. You have to press seams open for this quilt. Just all there is to it. Here's one. And yes, you can see I don't know if you can see the steam on the camera. Yeah, so I have my steam on my little Panasonic 360 cordless iron, and I lay it on top when I'm running it across there. I'm not pressing down. I'm just getting in a position to let it just lay flat on there, and that gets those seams super flat. Check that out. Super flat seams. And that's what you want. Thank you, Mia. Please, everybody, make sure you like the video. That just helps me out with search engine placement and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm just going to lay this here like so and flip it over. I'm going to do that to both of them, and then I'm going to sew that seam. Then I'll press it open again. But I find if I have a whole lot of these ready to do this pressing with, it goes quicker instead of doing it one block at a time. Okay. Here we go. There we go. We're going to go back over here and press these. And y'all, you can do whatever way you're comfortable with. You can do this. This is just how I personally do it. And it works for me. But it's okay if you want to do it a different way. Get your quilt, do it however you want to. But I just find that the steps I'm doing makes it more enjoyable for me to make one of these. if I do this step for each block one at a time, I've done it before like that. It seems like it takes forever to get it done. I'm just one of those to see there. There's my 2 half hexies. That's what the finished block will look like. Isn't that fun? Oh, thank you, Mike. Okay, so that one's done. I'm going to clip this together so those 2 halves stay together. Place them over here in my to-do basket. There we go. And that's all there is to it, everybody. Let's audition some more blocks. I've got a good stack there. Let's see how many we can get layered up here. And I think I'm going to put this yellow on this one to the center. We'll see. What would the blue look like towards the center? That would have been my first inclination. Yeah, and that's the way it's going to be. There we go, right there. I am going to get all of these auditioned and arranged. And then when I get up in the morning, I will sew these together so they're ready for tomorrow night. Once again, episode 4 is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll go back upstairs once I turn the camera off here. I will get that listed on. I will get that listed, and I'll also get the ones listed for next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I like that one too. That looks nice. Okay, let's do this one here. Oh, that's an interesting one. Let's see here. I'm going to put the yellow to the center. Like so. See how it makes those petals, or fan blades, or whatever you want to call it. Come on. Let it go. There we go. Let it go. Yeah, I like that one. Pretty cool. Okay. Let's see here. Putting this to the center on this one. Isn't that one cool? I like that one a lot. Nice. Sherry, these were 6 panels that I cut apart on episode. When did I do that? Last night, Friday and Saturday night, I cut all of these apart. Also showed last Saturday night, I think, as episode 1 is how to align the fabric. So these are all recorded, so you can go back and watch them if you want to make one. This particular series is based on this book. Hold on. Where you at, book? Here you are. This book right here. One Block Wonder Panel Quilts. Wrong camera. Right there. But if you want written instructions, you can purchase this book at your local quilt shop or follow my Amazon link and you can purchase that book. full of inspiration and techniques and all that fun stuff, and it'll give you a lot of ideas. Okay. So this one, let's see here. I'm just going to do this one like this. Like that. Come on, you. Let go. Sometimes the layers are hard to peel away from each other. That looks cool. It's kind of like a whirlpool almost. Come on. There you go. There we go. It's nice. Very subtle. Oh, wonderful, SP. Okay. Then after I finish this series, I will do another one where we just use yardage off of a bolt. And there's several ways to do these. And they're all a lot of fun. I'm going to put the red to the center on this because it'll just be easier. Let's see what it looks like first. No, we're not going to put the red to the center. Just once you start laying it out, you know the fabric will talk to you, so to speak, and you'll know it's going to make it work for you. What works for me may not work for you, but you have 3 choices each time you lay one of these out. And I like how that looks. Oops, oops. There we go. And there. Nice. Okay. And this one is going to go like so. Let's see. There we go. Making that swirl, that adds movement. And what I do, I chain piece everybody. Those of you that have just tuned in, that's why I'm laying out so many at one time. I'm going to do the chain piecing step on this. Will be my next sewing task. Next weekend there will be 3 episodes. Next episode is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time here on the channel. And put that yellow to the center on this one here. Each one of these, since this is a triangle, you have 3 possible outcomes for each stack of triangles that you cut. Because any of the 3 corners, the 3 points, can be the center of the block. Isn't that fun? So fun. Okay. Let's do some more. Let's see here. This point right up here, I think is going to be the winner. Let's just see. Oh yeah. Yes, indeedy. I have a nice effect. Ooh, look at that. Even those two even wind up right there a little bit. How cool. Fun. Okay. Love this one. Yummy. Here we go. Look at that one. Pretty cool. Let's get some other color on there so they're easier to see. I'm going to put the dark to the center on this. Check this out. Wonderful. Isn't that pretty? Kind of like looks like watercolor paint almost. Let's try the solid green to the center on this one. See what happens. You can already see how it's making that circular motion from the center. I kind of call them like, think of a whirligig or a pinwheel. Kaleidoscope, yes. Yeah, making whirligigs is a good word to use. I like how that looks. It's pretty cool. Look at that. Oh, thank you, Marlise. Thank you. Oh, wonderful, SP. So, like I said, you don't have to use every single hexie you make in one. That way you can adjust it and make it whatever size that you want. I'm going to turn my camera. Some of you that just turned in haven't seen this, but okay. Close your eyes if you get motion sickness. This over here, oh, that's the way to do that. Okay. Here is the other one I'm pretty far along in. This is the 5th arrangement I did on my design wall, but there's the center panel, and that one panel, 6 of them, made all of these blocks. I had 6 leftover blocks that I will not use in it, but this is the arrangement I'm going to go with, and I will be sewing all of those together, just like I'll be doing on this one on camera. The only reason I did not do this one on my peacock quilt on camera is simply because I already had it halfway completed when I started this series. So there you go. But that's a lot. It is so much fun. This is what it started out with, that very center where the peacock is, that's the panel. And I got all these different blocks out of just that one little panel, measured like 24 by 42 inches. Pretty cool. Okay. Let's go back to this. Okay. So let's get some more laid out. I'm gonna get the rest of my little basket here. Right here, I'm gonna get all these laid out. And then I'm gonna sew them all together. I'm gonna chain piece like I just previously have done. I'll do that off camera. There's no sense for y'all to have to watch that process again. Tomorrow, and this is step 1. So when we come back tomorrow night, I'll have all of these pieced and I'll have I will have them ready to press. Okay? Once I do the next step is where I will start pressing each block as I go. But this is the first step right here. Isn't that pretty? Love that. Do I want that? No, I don't. I'm going to turn that one because most of that blue in the center on this will actually be ate up in the seam allowance. So I'm going to do it this way instead. I want to see that pinwheel / whirligig in the center of my blocks. When possible, it's not always possible to do that, but when I can, I do. There we go. Excuse me. And on this one, I'll put the thick blue side to the center. You can make like big petals and big whirligigs. See right there. Oh, you're welcome, Christina. Let's see here, that'll go like that. That'll go like that. And there. Okay. So where there's this one dark stripe on this triangle, I'm going to put that so that this is in the center. That'll create kind of like a center design on this block. Check it out. Here. Those look best this way, I think. These will look best like thus. Once again, creating a swirling motion from the center of each one of what will be these pieced hexes. Right there, check that out. Very nice. we go. Next, let's do another one. Let's lay out another one. This is a fun part, everybody. Most people really enjoy this part. This is where you really get to have that creative side of you going. Excuse me. Come on, fingers, work. This fabric, it really sticks together sometimes. Check this one out. This is cute. Come on. There's another one. There it is. Okay. Look at that one. Isn't that fun? Okay. Next, I'm going to put that darkest part to the center on this one. And like I said tonight, once you do one of these, you'll develop an eye where you can almost look at one of the stack of 60-degree triangles, and you'll know exactly, at least 80 or 90% of the time, exactly which one you're going to put into the center of the block. Check that out. Darkest to the center on this one. I'm going to put so that most of that blue in this one will get ate up in a seam allowance. So I'm going to put that to the bottom and put this point to the center. I think. Yep. Yes, yes. Come on. There we go. This is a dark green with some hints of red or burgundy in it, so I'm going to put that to the center. There we go, yummy. And on this one, I think I'm going to put green in the center. Let's see what that looks like. It's got 3 colors going on in it. Or that way. No, nope, don't. Right there, like this. Like I said, As soon as you start laying them down out of that stack, that fabric will speak to you, and you'll know which way you want to lay it out. Just like this one just did to me. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Pretty cool. I love the green too, Vanessa. Okay. And that is something I look for. The more variety of colors in the fabric or a panel, that's how you're going to get all these different results out of it. Okay. Two ways we could go with this, the light green or the yellow in the center. Let's check out the light green first. Let's do this next. Oh, right there. Right there. I kind of thought the yellow would look best. It does. At least there's enough of this one that it won't get lost. There's enough yellow in this one. Will not get lost in the seam allowance. Check that out. That's cool. Oops. Yellow to the center. Here we go. Yum yum. Got about 5 more of these to lay out. Okay. Putting the blue to the center. That's what my guts tell me. I'm going to listen to my guts on this one. If I don't like it once it's laid out, I can always change it around. But I can already tell I like it. I like it a lot. I really do. Okay. There we go. Yummy. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Love that. Okay. There's another green one. Let's see. The dark green's going into the center. At least I think it is. Oh, what about the yellow instead in the center? Yellow in the center. Yellow in the center. Here we go. Yummy. Looks like watercolors that have kind of blended together. I like it. Like it a lot. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Let's look at this one next. My guts tell me to put the yellow in the center. My other guts are saying put the red in the center, so I'm going to try the red first. The yellow would have been my first choice. Let's see. Do 3 that way, and I'll do 3 with the yellow in the center. And we can make a decision from there. Nope, red in the center. Red it is. More like a rust, actually. There we go. Oh yeah, check that one out. Woohoo! That was the winner. This one's easy. Blue to the center. Those 2 points are exactly alike. Excuse me. Oh yeah, that looks cool. I love the green in this one too. Green and yellow always work well together. Well, and then you got the blue and the yellow, which are primary colors, as is the red. Okay. It's beautiful. Love that one too. Okay, 3 more to go. Check it out. That fabric bowl is empty. Excuse me. That to the center. Or that. No, this. Right here. This one here to the center. This will be the yellow. Never know. They have to change it. Oh no, I like how that looks. That's what it's going to be. That one is what it's going to be. That's cute. That's really cute. That. Love it. Next is this one. I'm going to have to do a couple on this. This is a tricky one. Okay. That to the center first. Right there. I'm going to do 3. Well, that's good. I'm not 100% crazy about it. I'm going to put the darker to the center, which is what my first instinct was. And I can already tell that's what I'm going to go with. I don't even want to see the other one. And the thing is, once you do one of these, and if you enjoy the process, you're already planning another one as you're doing this process right here. Here's our last stack of triangles. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Yes, I'm going to call it a night when I get this one here laid out as well. Okay, I'm going to put that cute green, I think, to the center on this one. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. Green to the center, maybe. Let's try yellow to the center, maybe. Let's put the red to the center. We will find one that we like. Red to the center it is. Third time was the charm on that one. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Alrighty. So, I will get all of this prepped for episode tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're going to start off. I will be ironing and pressing as I go tomorrow night. So, any questions before we go? Let me get my other camera turned on. There we go. Okay. Woohoo. This is just a thread right here, everybody. Let me just pull that down. There we go. Get that thread out of there. Yes, so tomorrow will be episode 4. Will that be episode 4? This was 3. Yes, it will. And then I'll get the one set up for next weekend as well. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to have some more fun tomorrow night. And boy, howdy, this has been a fun night. Love doing this process. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Night.